What's going on today, guys? Massive Hater here, and today we'll be talking about a video that I saw live on stream the other day. These plugins will ruin your mixes. Let me show you why. Right off the bat, this video is clickbait for sure. The video doesn't make too many good points. I kind of dismantle it as we go through it here, but around 11 minutes, he says something that exposes himself pretty bad.
This cannot be right. This cannot be right. Let me try some other headphones. Oh my god, that's so bad. What? What?
This feels so fake.
You can't be serious, right? And no auto game. How am I supposed to live my life like this? Oh! The reason why I decided to make this video is because of a new trend, which is actually not so new anymore. It's been going on for about 2 years now. Plugin reviews and gear reviews that are, let's say, a little bit dramatic. And what I mean by dramatic, what? I mean a little bit of over-the-top reviews.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about White Sea Studio?
And I want to say straight away, I'm not trying to accuse any creator or any YouTuber about...
Nah, fuck that.
Actually,
I'm called out. Fuck you.
And the people that do this, that I follow, they know what they're talking about. So I appreciate the drama, I appreciate the entertainment. I have no problem with that at all. So I wanted to get this out of the way.
Well, make up your mind, dude. Do we have a problem with it or not?
But what I'm seeing lately, and I find this a little bit worrying.
I feel like he was kind of talking about White Sea Studio there, because the no auto makeup gain.
Is that I see that people in the community are starting to become a little bit toxic with this
fuck that, fuck you
behavior. And I mean,
I thought of White Sea when he was describing this Weaver Beats. Yeah, Weaver, you're always hating. Fuck that, fuck you.
And I'm not talking about my videos, I'm talking about the whole community. So
fuck that, fuck you.
If you go on a YouTube video where there's a plugin review, there's so much negativity by...
Not from my videos. I think it's Snake Oil. I don't know. I feel like he's talking about White Sea Studio here.
And this negativity and toxicity sometimes
try some analysis
stems from this kind
no oversampling. That could be from anyone's channel
of content that's been around in YouTube for a long time now. And I think the reason is because people cannot distinguish drama, entertainment, and acting sometimes, I think, with something that is 100% serious. I think this is the problem. Negative reviews and a little bit of drama will get you views, and I absolutely appreciate this, and I don't blame anyone that is doing this. You know, if I make a title like what I did today and I say this plugin is...
I feel fucking lied to. I feel like this title would have made more sense with the context of this video if he put the title in quotations. I really want Dan Warhol to tear this guy a new asshole.
Terrible, it's the worst, it sucks, and all these things. It's very likely that even if you don't care about the plugin, you're going to click on the video. Okay, I know this works and I know it brings views and people...
That's just YouTube though. I feel like they do that with everything. I like White Sea Studio, but I take the clickbait with a grain of salt. Oh wait, he said grain of drip. Right. I feel like with White Sea Studio, his reviews have become more of like first looks.
We'll click on these kinds of things. It's an impulse and it works. But where things start to go wrong is where people take this a little bit too seriously and they start missing the whole point of the process of making music, the process of mixing, the process of producing, the process of mastering, and all these things. The main problem, in my opinion, is that most people that are starting out and obsess about a plugin and how, for example, it doesn't have oversampling or something like this, is because they've never worked in a professional environment. Most people these days, and we have to acknowledge this, I think, when they begin...
What? So wait, did you just say you're complaining about oversampling because you've never worked in a professional environment? If it's missing a feature, you're gonna call it out. It has nothing to do with whether or not you're working in a professional environment. That last sentence is why I thought you should react to this Weaver Beats.
I think when they begin their music journey, they're on their own. They might be working in a laptop, they might be working in a home studio. They don't have this interaction with somebody that knows their craft, or they don't work in a studio where day in, day out, work comes in and has to be done.
Real life scenarios versus plugin testing. I'm stressing the work needs to be done part of this. In a real studio environment, you care about one thing, results and delivery. I don't understand. Like, what is considered a real studio environment? You can mix well in your own home. This looks like this might even be in his own home too.
And you have to deliver results. So basically, what people have these days is YouTube. So they go on YouTube, and one thing that happens in YouTube is that you feel that a YouTuber will give you the magic solution, the magic plugin,
I feel like he's saying nothing. Homie cooking his brain. Some of the biggest albums the last day were mixed in a house on headphones.
And because all these little things that make a product great, like a plugin great, like auto gain compensation, oversampling, these are all great things that we're blessed to have.
Maybe White Sea Studio does mention that sort of thing, like auto gain, like, oh, I can't use this, it doesn't have auto gain. But when I review something, like I'm not saying, okay, this whole plugin can't be used because it doesn't have auto gain.
But I'm going to tell you one thing. Never once in my career, and I've been doing mixing, producing, mastering for over 20 years now. Never once I've been next to a professional mixing engineer, to a professional producer, and they've been complaining about how terrible Renaissance EQ is, or how terrible RVox is because it doesn't have oversampling, or it doesn't do proper gain compensation, or how Decapitator does.
I mean, if they had a problem with it, then they wouldn't be using it in a professional mixing environment. This is like just such a fucking stupid argument he's making. Does he think a professional would boot up a saturator that causes aliasing? I don't want a YouTuber to give me a magic plugin. That's a weird assumption. I'm gonna boot up a plugin for the first time when I'm mixing someone's song, a star song. I'm gonna boot it up for the first time and then complain about everything that's wrong with it. Like, that makes no fucking sense, dude. You're gonna use the stuff you know works.
The most important thing that people don't understand is that a plugin will not make or break your mix.
I've said this before too. Like, you can work with a lot of these shitty plugins, but that doesn't make their lack of features make them good, you know? Like, you're reviewing what's there and what's not there, what works and what doesn't work. Like, of course you can make anything work. I made great music before with shitty things. A lot of people have.
If anything is going to make or break your mix, is you.
Oh my God.
And I mean this, it's you. If you haven't done your research, if you haven't done your hours, mix and mix and mix, master and master and master, make mistakes, improve yourself, all these things, you're not going to be able to mix well or master well or produce well, no matter how many.
Bro, he really thought he was cooking here with this, I bet.
Plugins you have that have auto gain, oversampling, and so on and so forth. It doesn't matter. Yes, they will make a small difference, but it's so marginal compared to your skills, or it's not doing its job because it makes something louder. It doesn't touch my peaks. The peaks are the...
Yeah, it doesn't touch my peaks, you know what I'm saying?
Everyone has the right to say whatever they want. But what really makes me sad about this situation is that people don't really focus on what is important, but they focus on scrutinizing every little thing about a plugin.
That's what a fucking review is, man. That's what a review is. You're supposed to scrutinize. This is such a dumb, non-existent argument.
To cover up for their own insecurities, their own...
Okay, he's gone too far now. My own insecurities? Dude, this has gone on far enough.
Lack of skills instead of trying to improve themselves. And what I'm saying to these people sometimes is that it doesn't matter if you like a plugin or not. Don't use it. But if you go out and say that, well, I don't know, RVox is a horrible plugin because of this and this and that. Yes, it's a plugin that's been out for like decades, right? It cannot be as good as the modern plugin.
I mean, you could say it's not as good. You could say it's bad. I mean, horrible is maybe a bit strong.
But have people, pro engineers, Grammy award-winning engineers, and people who have made it in the industry use this plugin and made great records? Have they? Just think about it. It's not about the plugin.
No, I don't think people are saying it's unusable. People are going to point out the faults of it.
It's not about the tools, it's about the craft. And no, slamming a plugin in Plugin Doctor doesn't make you an experienced...
Dude, he is so talking about White Sea Studio. This is 100% about White Sea Studio.
Engineer. This is not the whole story. We have to realize where YouTube starts and ends, and where professional work and real-life scenarios begin. I'm all about knowing exactly what each piece of gear does, whether it's a plugin or it's a hardware. And actually, one of my favorite things to do whenever I am in a professional studio with other engineers is to do blind tests. So all these things are valid, don't get me wrong, but the most important thing is how you use every tool that you have in your studio. And this is what I'm trying to figure out if...
Yeah, you better use that Unison Audio plugin. You're not using that?
This whole thing about bashing plugins, slamming developers, talking badly about plugins that you haven't even tried it properly yet. This is a healthy thing to do. I know it brings views, but at the end of the day, plugin reviews on YouTube is an oversaturated subject. I do it as well, and I love that we have so many people doing plugin reviews because there's one little thing that you can take from each reviewer.
I feel like this guy can't make up his mind whether he wants to talk shit about people or be nice about them. He's like, you're doing it all wrong. This doesn't matter in a professional studio environment, but also I learned something from all of you.
Back in the day, we only had sources, Sound on Sound, Computer Music, Future Music, all these things, just to read the plugin reviews. And I think YouTube is now the main source where people are trying to learn about plugins. But you know what Sound on Sound, Computer Music, and Future Music are doing when they're testing a plugin? They're actually learning it, they're testing it, they put it...
Dude, he's just making so many different points here. Like, you can't just stand on one point.
...to the test. They don't just try the demo for 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Okay, this is 100% about White Sea Studio. Just call out White Sea Studio in the title, man. Come on. They try out a plugin for the first time, and then they're just like, I don't like this about it. And then they just like create a title about it.
When I do a plugin review, for example, every single time I spend a lot of time with the plugin. I learn it inside out. I learn what it does. I try it on as much material as possible. And that's because I love plugins. I love trying out new processors, and I want to know exactly what they do. I've even rejected paid sponsorships for plugin reviews because I tried...
Dude, you shouldn't be taking sponsorships for reviews at all. Dude, does he take money for reviews? Okay, that's like a much bigger problem than what he's talking about here. What the fuck? Did he just expose himself? Dude, wait, hold on.
I want to know exactly what they do.
Hold up.
I've even rejected paid sponsorships for plugin reviews because I tried the plugin and I wasn't really...
Oh my god, you're not supposed to take money for reviews at all, man. Oh my god, dude. Are you serious, dude? You're not supposed to take money at all for reviews. How can anyone trust your judgment then? Oh, God, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? He just invalidated the whole thing. All his anger is stored in his earring. You take it away and he's just a nice guy afterwards.
I go to the developer and say, look, this is not good. All of this can be improved in this and this way. Or this is just not for me. Somebody else might like it.
There's no point in reviewing something if you only review the good things. It's not a review then. It's just you praising them.
So I totally appreciate if somebody wants to do a light-hearted review, install a demo and start playing with it and say, hey, this is great or this is not great.
Well, it's not a review then. It's just the first look.
I love these videos. I absolutely love these videos. But what I'm trying to say is that this kind of video shouldn't trigger the community to have this kind of obsessive behavior. And what's the danger here? And there's no real danger. It's music. Nobody's gonna die. But what is the dangerous thing is that...
What is the point of his reviews then? I don't know. He only reviews plugins he likes, and he takes money for it too. Don't forget that.
People start...
How's this still going, man? This is crazy.
Spreading the wrong information. They have no experience. They've never worked in a professional environment. Sometimes they don't even know what they're doing.
I don't know too many people that review plugins that don't do work for other people. I mean, I know White Sea Studio does. I do work for other people. I'm like 99% sure Mixbus TV does.
I mean, I did a plugin video about Basslane Pro that was not sponsored. I was literally excited about this plugin. Many people came in the comments and they started saying, oh, this is very easy to achieve by using Chorus. And I was like, oh my gosh, if one person take this as a suggestion, as a valid piece of advice, their loan is going to be ruined. There's one thing in common. They stop listening. They stop trying to get better. They stop understanding the fundamentals of the craft, and they just go on and on.
How about instead of spending their time writing hateful comments, they actually spend time improving on producing, mixing, and mastering? No, fuck that, fuck you.
Commenting on plugin reviews and saying, oh, you know what, I'm better than you because I know that this thing is a scam, or this...
Isn't that, I feel like he's kind of like, I mean, he's not saying he's better than you, but he's telling people to get better. As if he knows better.
Plugin is horrible.
Oh my god, dude. This video... How does this have a positive like ratio? That's crazy.
You know...
You would think more people would be like, fuck this guy.
Oh, I'm better than you. This is...
Yeah, you should spend less time lighting your curtains and with like weird fucking LCD clocks or whatever, and spend more time perfecting your mixing and mastering. Or you should spend less time making shitty YouTube videos.
An attitude that even for a seasoned pro engineer is not right. They use their tools, they might be using plugins from 30 years ago, and they still make awesome sounding records. How about that?
How about that? Ooh, that's ultimate gotcha there. I don't think anyone's saying that you can't make or mix good music with bad plugins or bad instruments or bad anything. Like, I think people are just reviewing what's in it because that's what a review is, and then they post it online. And sometimes it's a little sensationalized with the title and whatnot.
How about thinking about that for a second before you start blaming a plugin
Yeah, it's all the plugin's fault that I suck.
for your insecurities? And I have to say, for the majority, the vast majority
Don't move, I'm almost done. What?
of my viewers, this video is going to be irrelevant. But I still wanted to make it because I think the audio music production community is a beautiful place. And we can all
Objectively, if I handed someone better plugins than the ones made 30 years ago, and then you learn to use them, the mix would be better. That's an objective fact. You can still do something great without the best plugins, but like you're more so just reviewing the features of the plugins, you know?
thrive in this community. And there's no reason to be negative and to start, fighting in the comments and saying, oh, this is horrible. If you don't like a plugin, move on. That's okay. It's absolutely
Yeah, don't give it a bad review. Don't warn other people about it. Just move on. Let noobs get fooled. Let them get tricked by the scammers. You're right. That's a great idea. Let them get fooled by people that take money for reviews. Yeah, he really thought he did something here. That's crazy. Wow. I don't even know where to start with this. I feel like I said all I need to say already. That was awful. This message is stupid as fuck. This is why it's a good idea to kind of prepare what you're going to say in a video beforehand, especially if you're going to do like a topic video like this. He didn't make any sense to me. Like, it seems like he had a few points he wanted to talk about, and then he didn't really have any real reasons for them, and he didn't want to mention anyone by name, but clearly was mentioning certain people. Like, it really seemed like he was talking about White Sea Studio, I feel like. And then he also mentioned getting paid for reviews, that's just unethical as shit. I don't know. I think I said all I need to say about this already. Bad video. Hate it.
Bang Incorporated.